What's up, YouTube? We got a yo-yo review to do today. This is a collaboration between 24K Whips and Rain City Skills. This is the Retro Rocket. So the Retro Rocket actually comes with a handcrafted 24K Whip string that matches the colorway, but I've already used that string up and I've had this for a while. But you saw it on the unboxing, and it really works well. This sort of has a wider gap. Dan Kessler, who runs 24K Whips, had reached out to me and said, hey, you know, that little bit of slippiness, the string that comes with it that I wound to go with it that matches the colorway, that handles that. It's a little thicker. I said, I understand. That totally makes sense. That's what I have on this now. But when it opened, it had the other. Anyway, that being said, 24K Whips is cool. Dan Kessler's cool. And this is a cool yo-yo. Let's get into the review. So, the Retro Rocket specs. It is a 65-gram yo-yo with a 38.7 millimeter width and a 52.9 millimeter diameter. So, for a back in the day, this would have been a pretty normal sized yo-yo. Think like 888 or, you know, the One Drop 54, stuff like that. This would have been a pretty standard size back then. And that sort of seems to be kind of the theme this year particularly. A lot of guys are putting out this sort of throwback retro rocket, get it, type of sized yo-yo. I guess a lot of the guys now who are sort of coming up in yo-yo and have yo-yo brands, who have yo-yo designs, sort of got their start on these type of yo-yos. So, you know, the 888, the Yuxta, stuff like that. This is a very butterfly shaped yo-yo. It sort of just looks like a kind of, for more modern string tricks, butterfly. A little organic, still pretty V. There's a little step in there as well, but we'll get to that when we take it apart. Nice little thumb grind lip, little finger spin trainer. You can finger spin that if you hit the dead, if you get in the dead center and kind of do your like flat. It's cool. It's a cool design. Honestly, I've really been enjoying it. It plays a lot bigger than it looks, which is what she said, and it really just kind of is a cool yo-yo. I really dig it. Let's look at it size-wise. Here it is next to the upcoming Two Sick Yo-Yos flank. As you can see, much smaller than the flank. Flanks are kind of on the big side, but here's next to the flank. Here it is next to the Hero by Circle City Yo-Yos. See, Hero's pretty normal size. This kind of fits inside of it. Here it is next to the G-Squared Reaper. And, for fun, here it is next to a Titanium Banshee. What? A Titanium Banshee? How do you have that? Secrets. Anyway, so, yeah, Retro Rocket. Very cool. Really fun, very pocket-friendly, very, like, go-to-work friendly. This come to work with me a good bit, actually. Really just a good size yo-yo that still can kind of just hang and perform everything you want it to perform. It's a good carry. It's a good EDC yo-yo. This would be a perfect EDC yo-yo, actually, just based on the size and the shape and everything. It's excellent for that, and I highly recommend it as an EDC yo-yo. They are in stock right now on RainCitySkills.com. They are $65. They're all splashes and fades and stuff. So solid price, $65 for a boutique yo-yo. Let's go throw it around a little bit. I'll show you guys what this bad boy can do. We're throwing the Retro Rocket. It's a quick little nugget there. Kind of maneuvers off the string very well. You kind of get sort of the benefit of both the V and sort of the organic shape as well. It's not too floaty. It's kind of dense just because it's little, but it doesn't feel heavy at all. Really stable, really long spinning. You wouldn't necessarily think that just by looking at it, and it's nice and light too, at like 65 and some change grams. So it kind of just moves off the string really, really well as well. Big fan. Big fan. Oh no. Chopstick tricks, of course, are a breeze because it's a little bit smaller of a yo-yo. Grind finish is tremendous. Very nice. It's that kind of like softer, like not quite super blasted, but not blasted. It's like a matte finish. Very nice. Feels very nice just to touch and to grind and what have you. There is a nice thumb grind lip. A little smaller on the diameter. It's kind of harder to hit the thumb grind lip, but if you get it locked, you can lock it in real easy. There's a nice lip in there, so very cool in that regard. If you get, it's like it was described to me as a finger spin trainer, and it's not bad at all for finger spin. You got to kind of work to get your finger into the little cup area, but if you get it in there, you can get some pretty solid spins out of it. Oh, I had it. Still not a bad finger spin, actually. But yeah, a really perfect EDC yo-yo in my opinion. I really think that's really where it shines. Regen's really nice too, but really, I think the EDC variation of it, I think it being an EDC is really what it's gonna shine, because it fits in your pocket like nothing. So, you know, you don't have to like have it banging off your side or anything like that. Fits in a pocket real nice. Fits in your bag, any bag you could throw it into. It's a really good size. And it really just fits in your hand really well and is not too small that you're gonna feel inhibited with it when you're playing yo-yo with it. Like, you're just playing yo-yo. It's not gonna stop you from doing any tricks or anything like that. Like, it's not, you know, clearly not a competition spec yo-yo, but it's not taking anything away from you either, you know? Easy to hit the strings that you want it to hit because, there we go. Easy to hit the strings that you want it to hit because of how small and nimble it is. So, really, kudos to Jeremy and to Dan for designing this, because it's a really solid design. Super solid design. Let's go ahead, stick it back on the desk, we'll take it apart, I'll show you guys the insides. Alright, Retro Rocket, let's take it apart. This fade looks cool. This is my favorite color that they did. They all look pretty good, but this is the best one. Kessler run, like the Kessel run. You guys are hilarious. Hilarious. Alright, let's take it apart. Machined very, very nicely. Everything that Rain City has machined always really comes out just really good. Sort of the centering bearing there. This bearing has been a champ. I've done nothing to it. Just spins a long time and smooth and quiet. So, killer bearing. +1. Cool little step there. It's just a little rounded over bump. Really makes, you know, gives you some string separation, and kind of just really kind of gives the yo-yo a little bit more of a modern feel on the string, but at the same time, just, you know, enhances performance a little bit. Really comes off the string really nice and just plays really, really well. Decently long axle. I was sort of expecting it to sort of be short, but it is not. It's actually pretty long, which is why I would recommend it as like an EDC type of yo-yo, because you're not going to strip this at all. It's really machined well as well, and it's a good small size. The white pads work just fine. They can be a little slippy if you use a thin string. It comes with a few thin strings, at least mine did, but with the string that Dan wound for it from 24K Whips, you're not going to have any problems with it. I didn't have any problems with any zip lines on it either, so no worries. No worries. Goes back together nice. The colors are great. I think this one particularly looks good, but all the colors look really good. They're all splashes and fades. I really like that. I think that's kind of, when you're going boutique, you know, I know a lot of people want like player yo-yos that are like a solid color or whatever, but I think if you're going boutique, I think splashes and fades, particularly like subtle, just cool looking stuff like this, I think is really the way to go. And I think this is a really, really, really nice yo-yo for that. Let's do pros and cons. Pros, grind finish, baby, so good. Great design, great EDC. I don't know if they had like everyday carry stuff in mind when they designed it, but truthfully, super long axle, so it's not going to strip. Great grind finish, really can handle anything you want to throw at it. Very, very capable, but also doesn't play like a rock or anything like that. And a great size to just carry with you all the time. Really a great EDC yo-yo. I'm not sure if that was the intention, but I found it to be just a great yo-yo to carry with me. Finger spin cup works pretty well, especially if you work at it a little bit. You can really get some good ones if you get some dead center, you get locked in dead center. Really cool in that regard. thumb grind, easy. Great blast all over. I think I said that already. The bearing, yo-yos with good bearings, they literally just make the yo-yo. Like, it makes the yo-yo better because it's a good bearing and you don't have to fuss with it. I've had no fussing with this. I've had it since before East Coast Masters, so over a week now. About a week and a half, almost 2 weeks. Played it every day. It's in good shape. It's great. I mean, really the only cons, it's not really a con, you know, is that if you don't like smaller yo-yos, or, you know, if you're kind of newer, just starting out, smaller yo-yos can be a little tougher to hit the string with. But even with that, just to say that, I mean, you really should try to play with a smaller yo-yo, because if you get better at hitting the string with this, you'll be even better at hitting the string with a big yo-yo when you play with a big yo-yo. So it's really kind of, you know, a blessing in disguise. I like that a lot of brands are kind of doing these sort of retro-styled, retro-sized yo-yos this year. There's one from Recess as well. That's there's the pre-release came out already. They had some of those at East Coast Masters, and then the Retro Rocket, which I think is the second one. There may have been another one that I've tried this year, or maybe it was the end of last year. Anyway, this is a great size, and I'm glad people are kind of sticking to sort of that they're coming out with some sort of like medium-sized yo-yos, because I feel like these are good sizes to just kind of take with you, put in your bag, and they're still super capable, but, you know, they're a little smaller. They're not bulky, hanging off your hip or whatever. They just fit in your pocket, which I really like, because I go to work a lot, and it's nice to bring a yo-yo with me that's not, you know, huge and bulky. That's going to do it for me today, guys. Check out all the links in the description. You're going to want to pick up a Retro Rocket. This shape is cool. This yo-yo is cool. Links are in the description. It's going to do it for me today. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.